Hello and welcome back to All Things Trentside. How you doing, guys? I hope you're all well. It might be the last time I speak to you doing a match preview for the game. Of course, hopefully that's not the case, but we'll get onto that in a second. But yeah, it's been a long old season, doesn't it? Normally, say, Forest will be preparing to go back in a few weeks' time, having played their pre-season with their new signings, new kits, etc. But no, tomorrow against Stoke, or today actually, sorry, I've filming this on the Tuesday, but this will go out on the Wednesday. So today, Forest will be looking to secure the Championship playoffs when they host Stoke at the City Ground. It's been a long slog here for Forest. They could have secured it way before then, against Preston and Barnsley, but of course, more against Barnsley. We did throw the chance away, conceding that late goal. As always, it has been the story of Forest's post-lockdown form. But now we host Stoke City at the City Ground, knowing a point, no matter whatever happens in the games elsewhere. Cardiff play Hull and Swansea play Reading. So whatever happens in them games, Swansea could win 10-0. But it doesn't matter. As long as Forest get a point, at least we will be in the playoffs. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think I say this about every game that we have, but I think it is interesting at the moment how Forest are and how they'll set up. You never know, people can't go. Is that having an effect on Forest in the end? But who knows? We'll just know we need to get a job done tomorrow against, tomorrow. As you're watching this, just know I did film it Tuesday night. So we do need to get a job done now against Stoke. Just, give us a bit of form going into the playoffs as well. We don't want to limp over. I think we will limp over regardless of what the result, but just at least a decent win would help us move forward going into the playoffs, depending on, we still don't know who will play. But yeah, this is going to be my match preview for the game. So of course, as always, the team news, form guide, etc. But I hope you all enjoy it, guys. Hopefully it won't be the last match preview, and I do until the next season. Hopefully I will be able to do one for the playoffs and potentially the playoff final, but we'll just take it one step at a time. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the preview for the game. So Forest take on Stoke at the City Ground tomorrow. Forest's last game of the regular season, a point needed just to secure a place in the Championship playoffs. All 3 points would probably, depending on Cardiff's, I think we've got a superior goal difference. I don't know how many by. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, so if Cardiff win, Cardiff would have to win 5-6-0, and hopefully only Forest only win 1-0 to overtake us if we do win tomorrow. It could happen. They are playing Hull, who not long ago did lose 8-0 to Wigan, but yeah, so if Forest do get a win, they will finish fifth. If they do draw and Cardiff win, it will be. There's so many permutations. Swansea could also nab that sixth spot as well, but we'll just have to see closer to time. Around tomorrow, about 9:30, what's happening. But yeah, let's just run you through the team news then. As for Forest, Sabio Lamucci said he has doubts over the fitness of key men for Forest at the back four and goalkeeping department, Bryce Samba and Matty Cash. Samba did miss Sunday's game against Barnsley with Jordan Smith deputising, and Cash has missed the last two games. I'm going to say it again, but it is an interesting one to see what will happen with that, because of course I did mention it in the review for the game. Oh my god, I need to stop saying that as well. I did mention it in the review of the game that, I think Paul Taylor did come out and say if it was a playoff semi-final, Samba would have played instead of Jordan Smith, but he chose not to risk him, which was a bit stupid. It did backfire in the end, of course. I think Jordan Smith had a great game, but you can't do that if he's fit. It's kind of underestimating the opposition. We've kind of a bit of arrogance going into it. If that is the case, of what Paul Taylor was saying is true. I know some Forest fans say what he says with a pinch of salt, but if he says that Samba would have played and that is the case, then it is a bit of arrogance. We'll just rest him because he'll be fine, and let Jordan Smith play the 2 games and be fine for the playoffs. But Samba could be back again, though. If it's an injury that he can probably tweak again. So say for example, I think it was a groin injury or something to do with his leg, and if it was a muscle injury and he did do something like that, we'd be out for the playoffs. And although Jordan Smith did do quite well and Samba's looked a bit shaky since the restart, you'd rather have Bryce Samba in goal. No disrespect to Jordan Smith, but the way Samba has been this season, not so much post-lockdown, but pre-lockdown, and he's been terrific for Forest. So we hope he's not risked if he is needed. I mean, he probably is needed for the game, but if it is a risk of he could do something worse and then be out for the playoffs, then I wouldn't risk him. Same with Matty Cash. I think Cole Jenkinson's not done too bad, and we've also got Deriqua, who's it was unfortunate not to come on Sunday, but you've got them two deputising, especially Deriqua's pace. I think that's what we missed down that right hand side when Cash isn't playing. Jenkinson not done too bad since he come in against Preston and Swansea. Didn't have the best game on Sunday, but I don't think any Forest player did, apart from Jordan Smith. Ironically, you can't really say anyone deserved really to have man of the match or was even close. But yeah, so it's the same with Samba. If Cash is at risk of injuring himself further for the playoffs and without him, it's another big blow. I think you take a spine out of Forest team. You take Samba's injured. If so, gets suspended. Cash doesn't play. No Lolly and no Grabban. Then that Forest team looks bottom six rather than top six. So we'll just have to see what happens with that. In turn as well, Joe Lolly's been missing in recent weeks. He was absent for the draw against Preston and didn't play against the game against Barnsley. He did play, I think, last 10-15 minutes for the game against Swansea, but wasn't risked on Sunday. And also there's doubts over Amiobi as well. He played the closing stages at Oakwell. I think he needed a bit of injection of skill and pace. I think that's why he come on. I don't think Lamucci wanted to use him, but when it got to, I think he come on last 15-20 minutes again. I can't remember. But Lamucci thought we'd at least been more comfortable at that point and we wouldn't need to go chasing a goal, because it looked like Barnsley were going to score at some point, but if we'd have managed to be more comfortable and match them shot for shot, if you will, I think Lamucci wouldn't have brought him on. So again, it could be a risk, but this is the part where Forest poor January transfer window could come back to bite them, and poor recruitment. Da Costa's done very well, but who else have we got on the wing? Alex Martin's still a bit young. I don't think be a big task for him stepping in a playoff semi-final, first leg if he was to play. But Forest need to be careful with these injuries. Say if we were to lose a few of these key players for the playoffs, if we are to get there, it would be a massive blow for our season. I think people would write us off straight away. You never know though. Sometimes it can be for the best, but you do want your full starting 11 out and strongest 11. I can't remember. Was it the Derby game? I think it was. It was the Derby. No, it was. Was it the Fulham game? It was one of the games. I think it was the Fulham game where we played probably our strongest 11, and that's the team you want starting in that first leg of the playoff semi-finals. If obviously, of course, Forest are to get there. But that is the team news for Forest. Again, there's going to be a few injury doubts. It's going to be a cautious approach from Lamucci, or will he go for it? Seen at Barnsley play 5 at the back. Will he revert to his 4-2-3-1, if you will, rather than his 5 at the back strategy? So will that mean we see Dawson drop out and someone else come in, or Figueiredo drop out? Will Ryan Yates keep his place? Will Thiago Silva be involved? I'm not too sure, really, going forward. It's going to be... I can't think of another injury. I really need to brush up on my vocabulary a bit. I can't really think of another word, and it's going to be an interesting one. I can't think of what else to say, but you get the gist of things, don't you? It's going to be whatever team news comes out. It's going to be happy with it. It's going to be intriguing. We'll use intriguing for a bit. It's going to be intriguing to see what team Itchy has put out, what Lamucci does put out, and how we're going to set up formation wise. But yeah, we'll have to see. As for Stoke though, Sam Clucas is a doubt. Their top goal scorer this season. He had to undergo a fitness test before Saturday's win at Brentford. Michael O'Neill has implied that he could be rested for the match. Well, so we'll get on to the more in a moment. Stoke are safe now, so they can't get relegated. So is there any point risking someone like as for Forest, the potential for a bad injury to occur and be out for the start of next season? So if you're safe, is there any point? I know you want to finish the season with a flourishing as best you can, but I don't think, if he's not 100%, I don't think Michael O'Neill will risk him. Nick Powell's also recovered from a knock in the midweek draw. He picked up in the midweek draw against Bristol City. And Jack Butland could be involved after a neck injury. He did sit on the bench at the weekend. Is it Adam Davis or Aaron Davis? Or am I thinking of Aaron Davis who used to play for Forest? It's Adam Davis, the ex-Barnsley man. He played in goal. Kept a clean sheet as well against the Brentford side who score goals for fun. So might be worth keeping him in goal, see how he does for next season, because I think Jack Butland kind of not the same calibre, but it's kind of gone like David De Gea, the trajectory of his career. He was doing so well, looked like he'd get a move. Then ever since probably Stoke dropped into the Championship, he didn't get that move. He's been awful. So interesting to see if Adam Davis keeps his place between the sticks next season. I think Stoke fans are also interested in that. Also, Joe Allen and Ryan Shawcross, also a long-term absentees. I think Shawcross broke that horrific leg break he had at the start of pre-season last season. So I think he's probably close to return, but he's not going to return this game. Joe Allen, they picked up a knock. I say a knock, I think it was his ACL. It's not just a knock, but he picked up a long-term injury as well in one of the matches. I don't know if it was just before lockdown or just after, but yeah, they won't be playing. But yeah, as we go into the form guide now, Forest looking to get back to winning ways, and as I say, a point would confirm a playoff place regardless of what Cardiff and more importantly Swansea's results. So as I say, Cardiff play Hull. Forest really will only be looking to see if Cardiff can finish above them and push Forest down into sixths. But it doesn't matter, as Forest get a point, they will be in the playoffs regardless. Even if, like I say, Swansea went to Reading and won 10-20 now, it doesn't matter as long as Forest get that point. But they haven't won in 5 games, Forest. It's kind of limping in towards the playoffs if they do secure that place. A win would do us the world of good, just to give us a bit more confidence going into the playoffs. But you never know. It is a lottery, but I'll get onto that in a moment. Looking to avoid going 6 games without a win, and that's something Forest haven't done this season. The most worst run we've had was the November-December run where, we lost. I think it was we drew with Millwall, we lost to Sheffield Wednesday, lost to Huddersfield in that time. I think we lost to Cardiff in that period of time. We drew with someone else, I can't remember who. It was drew with Middlesbrough, and then we stopped the rot. We beat Hull on Boxing Day, and that stopped us from losing being winless in 6 games. So yeah, it could be Forest's worst run of the season. It couldn't have come at a worse time. I think the big factor was conceding that late goal against Derby, and that killed our momentum going forward, playing so well, and then them losing to Fulham as we did, and then the draw against it's just not gone well for Forest since that Derby game. But a win tomorrow would just, like I say, just give us a little boost, secure that playoff spot, secure that 5th place, and then just give us a bit of confidence going into the playoffs, especially if we beat Stoke, very comfortably. It's kind of like showing teams that we can blow teams away, and we are ready for the playoffs. So if we kind of limp there, it's like, Forest have been in awful form. But then, as I say, you always say, we look like the team that could go 6 games out of a win and then win every game in the playoffs. You never know. Probably another worrying stat for Forest. They only kept 3 clean sheets at home this season. For a team that's done so well defensively, we haven't kept many clean sheets prior to the turn of the year. I think QPR was one. Bristol City was another, and I can't remember who else we kept a clean sheet to. I did look at the research earlier, but I didn't note down the teams. But yeah, so Forest do struggle to keep clean sheets, especially recent weeks as well. We haven't managed to. I think the last one was Bristol City, but since lockdown and football returned, we've only kept 1 clean sheet in that time, which, again, for a team that prides themselves on good defensive record, hasn't been the greatest. So we know if a chance does come to Stoke and we do panic, they're going to take it. And that brings us on to Stoke, probably the team that has been another shocking season for them since being relegated after 10 years in the Premiership. Spent loads last season, didn't work out with Gary Rowett, then Nathan Jones coming, didn't work out again, just stayed up. Same thing happened this season. They only just secured their Championship status for another season after beating automatic promotion hopefuls Brentford, and informed Brentford we should say, 7 wins on the spin. Brentford team that were looking to go for the automatic promotion places and only even really needed the point, having a superior goal difference to West Brom, but they went to the Britannia or Bet365, whatever it's called nowadays, and beat them 1-0. I think Lee Gregory scored. Was it Lee Gregory or Sam Clucas? Again, don't really do my research much on the away opposition thoroughly. But it was a turn of form that no one's seen coming from Stoke. They were unbeaten 3 games after picking themselves up, after being thumped 5-0 by Leeds at Ellen Road. After that, it looked like Stoke were going to get dragged into the relegation places again in the relegation battle, but they picked up 2 wins and a draw, and it's allowed them now to finish the season strongly. Can rest a few players, like I was saying, or give a few players a run out, see for next season. But they've done quite well to pick themselves up after that. it's kind of example with Forest, late the sickening equaliser that we conceded to Derby. It felt like a loss, and I don't think we've properly recovered from that. And Stoke lost 5-0, pushed them. I don't know if it was in the relegation place or not, but it did push them closer towards danger. But they picked themselves up and finished the season strongly. And they'll be looking to do that then. They're 4 games unbeaten, and maybe take that form into next season, because Michael O'Neill's done wonders since he come in. They've only lost 6 times this year, and he's picked up 45 points from a possible 87 since taking over in early November. So nearly picking up, probably on average, is it 2 points per game, which isn't bad. I think he took over and he was only on 8 points, and now they're on 53. So he's done a terrific job there since stepping down from his Northern Ireland post. So he's a good manager, and he'll be looking to, he knows what he wants. He can have a big transfer window to pick the players he wants to come in and build his own team, get rid of a few as well. You'll probably see a rested Stoke team, due to obviously they have nothing to play for. I might be wrong in that respect, but give a few youngsters a run out. Let's hope he does. Obviously Forest can take advantage of that and get the job done. But they have got the job done in previous meetings with Stoke. We won the earlier meeting this season 3-2 with goals from Lolly, Amiobi and Graben as a result at the time, which briefly sent Forest to the top of the Championship for the first time since, I can't remember the last. I think it was when Stuart Pearce was in charge, and we started the season quite well. But yeah, it seems a long while since that happened. Lots happened since then. But we haven't really played Stoke that many times. In the last 15 years, we've only played them 4 times, but we've won 2, drew 1 and lost 1. That was the game we lost, was it last season against Stoke at home. Martin O'Neill, I think Nathan Jones was on a poor run of form, and they did beat us 2-0. It was awful, as we was probably for the majority of under O'Neill. But I remember that one fondly. Probably a bit of it depends if you're a good omen or not. But Stoke haven't won at the City Ground since a win in 1993. I know it's a long while since we did play Stoke, so I think there's like a 10-year gap until we actually played them again. And then ironically we ended up playing them at home twice in probably a space of a few weeks in a League Cup meeting, and last season at home when we drew 0-0. And we haven't beat them in a league match at the City Ground since 2005. But like I do say, it has been a long while since we played Stoke, obviously due to them being in the Premiership and us being in League One at the time. So we've got cross paths. I think fortunes have changed since probably we last got that victory in 2005. So we went to League One and they went to the Premiership. They stayed there, but now they've come back. They've tried to throw money at the cause. It's not worked. So will they keep hold of a few key players ready to go next season, or will it be a rebuilding process? But we'll have to see. Talking of key players though, Tyrese Campbell is my choice for this game. He's got 9 goals and 2 assists this season. I think he didn't start at the start of the season, but he broke into the team. He can play out of the wing or operate as the main striker, so it depends if Sam Vokes is normally preferred or Lee Gregory. He is the son of former Forest striker Kevin Campbell, and is very highly rated as well, so will they be able to keep hold of him if he puts in another strong showing? I did also pick out Sam Clucas, as he's top goal scorer at Stoke with 11 goals this season, but it seems to me that he isn't going to be involved. I mean, Michael O'Neill said he might not risk him out. I'd be very surprised if he does. Like I say, it could be an aggravated injury, and then he misses 2 months, and he misses the start of next season when you want all your best players fitting at your disposal, ready for next season. So Tyrese Campbell's probably the one to watch for me. Sam Clucas does play as another one, former Mansfield man. I know he's Nottingham well. Went to Hull and Swansea. Didn't really hit the ground running at first, but he seemed to found his feet now, and normally plays on that left wing and can play in the middle as well. The Thiago Silva role, as if you like to call it. So if he is fit, he'll be danger man to watch. Especially he can whip in a good cross. Sam Vokes very good in the air, very physical, and like Forest do struggle to handle physical centre forward. So it would be a dangerous one if Vokes starts, but normally this season, as we've seen with Stoke, it has been Lee Gregory starting majority of the games. But yeah, that's really all I've got to say on the matter in hand in regards to form. That probably gets to everyone's favourite time of the video now. After we've spoken about both teams, we're going to go on to Ref Watch. So Forest And Stoke's ref for this game is going to be Gavin Ward. He's only managed ref one Forest game this season. That was the 2-1 win at Luton back in November. He ref 2 Stoke games this season. It was a 1-0 defeat to Cardiff and a 2-0 win over Swansea. Well, the 2 teams that are catching us ironically, or trying to catch us, should I say. He has took charge of the 31 games in the Championship this season. This will be his 32nd. He's gave out 109 yellow cards and 3 reds, so maybe not as red card happy as a few other referees in this division. As long as he's better than Oliver Langford, I think it's not very hard. And I think who was the referee had against Barnsley now? I can't even remember his name. But then he refereed 3 Championship games this season. He didn't really have a good game either. So as long as he comes in and does a decent job and is fair and gives Forest decisions that we actually want, and obviously as well on the flip side, he just gives Stoke fair decisions, then that's all you can ask for in a referee if they're fair and it doesn't look like they're showing bias to one side. But yeah, it's going to be a real tough game for Forest. I think if we played Stoke and in the form that it was in, obviously you'd probably actually better off actually not playing them in the form that they were in when we played them in September, because of course they'd have been fighting for their lives, especially if they'd not got that win over Brentford. They would have still mathematically could have been relegated, so they'd have been up for it. But now I think they know their minds are on their summer holidays, like they can go anywhere. Footballers always find a way, don't they? But they've probably got their mind on just having a little break, and finishing off what's been a weird season for themselves, and thinking we are a better team than that and we're ready to go again. Because you think Michael O'Neill coming, I think game 16, and he picked up that many points. Probably they're not only 16 points off the playoffs, so if they'd have done it earlier, they probably could have been challenging. I thought they'd not dropped a few points here and there, so they'll be ready to give it a good go next season. Get back to the Premier League. Hopefully Forest, this will be the last time Forest play them for at least a season, but we'll have to see what happens in that respect. I think the nerves are setting in just because people are watching Forest now. We're, say, winless in 5. Real tough game tomorrow against a team that could do damage. We've seen doing to Brentford at the weekend. And people you're getting decent odds for Forest finishing out the top 6 if you're not a betting man. If you are a betting man, Forest are 25-1 on Sky Bet to finish outside the top 6. So getting long odds, but people are seeing it could happen. It's like I say, Swansea getting an early goal, and so does Stoke, backs against the wall kind of thing. It's going to be interesting to see how people react though, because of course, say a few years ago when we played Ipswich last game of the season, it's all the news is filtering around the stadium, but are the players going to know, or is it going to be, when the drinks breaks come, Sabry's going to say, look, I've found out that Swansea are winning, or Reading are winning, etc., or Cardiff, whoever, and then the players say, right, we pull our socks up if it is 0-0 or we're losing, right, we need to get a goal. The game's set for Adama Diakhaby, isn't it, to score as well? I mean, it'll be, losing 1-0, Swansea are going to overtake us because they're thrashing Reading, and then he just comes up and sticks in a 96th minute equaliser. We'd love him forever, but it would be something Forest would do just to fall out of the playoffs after being in such a commanding position all season. I can't remember the last time we did actually fall out of the playoff positions. It might have been recent, but it's not been very many times that we have fell out of the playoffs. It wasn't too long ago we were talking about automatic promotion, but it's been a roller coaster season on and off the pitch, obviously with what's going on in the world at the moment. But hopefully we can finish it strongly and get that playoff position and show people what we can actually do, because when we do play good football, we are a very good side to watch. I just hope Lamouchi don't go defensive. He just plays his normal game and thinks, right, we're going to win here. We're going to show Brentfords, the Fulhams and the West Broms, and maybe probably the Cardiffs that we're not to be messed with in the playoffs. But we'll have to see, really, won't it? It's one of them. I think the nerves are setting in for me, because it's going to be devastating if we don't, especially because we took the mick out of Derby so much for them falling off, and all the clubs that we've had a little rivalry with on Twitter saying that Forest are rubbish, play rubbish football. Swansea, Brentford, and ironically Reading, to name a few, and we need them to do us a favour. I think they'd happily take a 8-0 loss if it meant Forest dropping out of the playoffs with the weird rivalry they created with us, because we had a waterlogged pitch, even though our ground's next to a river. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the game, how it's going to go. It depends. Ask me at 7, well, 6:30 when the team news does come out. Hopefully, the main men, if they are fit and they're not going to aggravate something for the playoffs, then get them in. But if they are, just don't risk them, just in case. I'd rather, keep them as well, say for next season, fresh to go again. But I'll talk about what Forest plans for next season, obviously, when our end of the season prediction end of the season does happen. Hopefully it's an extension after tomorrow. Hopefully this isn't going to be my mass match preview for the year, but if it is, I've really enjoyed doing it. Thanks for the support, guys. But I'll talk to you in my review for the game anyway, and hopefully I'll be talking about how Forest are playing, who they are playing in the playoffs and going from there. But yeah, guys, thanks for listening. It has been, like I say, I appreciate the late uploads again. As you see, didn't upload my match review from the Barnsley game until late tonight. Tuesday night now. So thanks for the support. Hope you're enjoying the videos, and I've got a big plans for this channel when the season does eventually get back to normal, and if things do get back to normal, we can potentially go and have a little break for myself as well from doing all these reviews and previews of the game. I can proper have a look at the channel and how to make it better, and I've got a few ideas going forward. But yeah, guys, thanks for listening as always. I appreciate any support you have, any criticism you want to leave, or constructive criticism. Drop us a DM on Instagram and Twitter. Follow us on social media. The links are in the description. Just give us a like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends about us. Because like I say, hopefully this channel can take off in the next few weeks, next few months. But thanks for listening. This is my match preview for this game against Stoke City Forest. Last game of the championship season potentially. Or will we get that 2-game at least extension? Let's hope so, guys. As always, stay safe. And hopefully tomorrow I'll be talking, when our next upload, which will probably be Thursday, we'll be toasting that Forest are in the Championship playoffs. Fingers crossed. I've got everything crossed at the moment. But yeah, guys, stay safe, and as always, and a big one for tomorrow. Come on, you Reds.